with George Floyd and with Black Lives Matter. In 20 years as a professional, though I've been saying these things very openly and publicly for 20 years, this is the first time I feel like I'm being heard. And that's big. You have to come from a certain level of, class and society, and you have to look a certain way. But as the world is changing, as it grows more diverse, if the ballet world doesn't evolve with it, then it's going to die. I think it's the ballet world that is not making real efforts to include more people. If you wanted to make changes, you would open up schools in those communities. You would have teachers that represent everyone. So there's just so many deep-rooted systemic issues within the ballet culture that don't allow for these things to organically change.
I was always told my body is not the ballet type. Even close friends of mine that I've worked with in classical ballet and American Ballet Theatre, when I danced at the Rock School, people just said, why don't you just do modern? But I love ballet, and that's what makes me get up in the morning, and it fills my heart.
I love ballet so much, and the technique is something that you should always practice as a dancer. I feel to have your bases and have strength in your body and things like that. But contemporary gave me more freedom to do what I wanted to do and be more creative.
Drums.
There's no way that you can sustain and when you're not including everyone. And so I think that's a big part of it, is that if you don't see representation in a space, then why would you support that? And there's so many communities that are not going to support an art form that they feel doesn't want them to be a part of it.
We spent a lot of time in a hollow heartache.
In my 19 years of training, there was no Black ballet dancers that were training with me, or I was the only one. I feel it didn't really hit me until later on when I grew up, and I realized maybe the reason why I didn't want to pursue ballet was because I didn't have any role models to look up to. I didn't have any there wasn't really that many Black ballerinas at the time as well, just to inspire me or make me feel oh, this is a career path that I would want to take.
When we think about ballet, we think about a certain shape of bodies. So you have to have arched feet, hyperextended legs, a small bum, a smaller chest, that are supposedly the ballerina. But who says so? The people who created that. So it was something that was put on the table, and nobody said, but why?
Ballet has to be approached in a different way. I've been around South London teaching about 11 schools, and the girls, they're all into the hip hop and the street dance. That's fine, it's great. If you say ballet, the word ballet, you can turn around and they've gone. You have to approach them as natural dancers. So you say to them, okay, you love dance, I'm gonna put some music on. You guys just do whatever you want to do. Let me see you move. And they get up and you start dancing. I'm like, wow, that's it. The one that I do then is just add a little ballet without them knowing.
You can't open up a ballet book and see the history of Black dancers. And so that was something I had to dig deep to get. And I'm so thankful that I did, because I feel like it gave me kind of a second wind, and it gave me a purpose beyond what I thought my purpose was. I thought, I'm this young prodigy and my goal is to be a principal dancer at ABT, without really understanding how deep-rooted racism is in ballet.